Welcome into the DNVR Pregame Show for Colorado versus Kansas State. We are presented by Game Time and Coors Light. Download the Game Time app, use the promo code BUFFS, get $20 off your first purchase. And get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. What is up?
Big
baby. Game.
What a weekend. What a game. It is the 100th birthday of our dear Folsom Field today.
Like right now, today.
Right now.
100 years
today.
old.
100 years from the first game ever at Folsom Field. The vibes are high. And, of course, we have an awesome special guest already off rip.
Yep.
Man, off rip. You know, when you come off a bye week and you come to a home game, you got to start the show, a special show like this with a special guest. Y'all have been asking about him, clamoring for him, seeing him in the footage. Like, we want to meet that Helow guy. Well, here he is.
I hope I don't disappoint anybody.
No, you won't disappoint.
No,
you know, they know you as you and I talk on campus at practice. They know you as my first cousin, Mississippi roots. You see the resemblance.
This is Big Cuz right here. Yeah. Appreciate you guys having me on. It's good to be here.
Yes, sir. No problem. I guess we'll just get into, coming off the bye week. What is kind of your role, I guess, coming off the bye week and then coming into this big game?
Yeah, bye weeks are great, for technique and fundamentals and being able to really focus on the details in your assignment and technique. So those are always good. And then, obviously just getting healthy as a team I think is really good in the structure of how Coach does everything with practice. So, coming off bye week, ready to go.
What is the challenge, and obviously they pose many, but what is the challenge of getting the team ready and the linebackers specifically ready for what K-State brings? Yeah,
well, first off, Coach Hart, linebacker coach, does a really good job here. He's got those guys trained and ready to go every week. The structure of the defense is set. Guys are coming together, learning how to play together. We're getting better as a unit. Our expectations and standards are very high, and they're going to continue to be high, and that comes from the head coach, having really good leadership with Coach Prime. And, you always want to work to get better. So, the standard's the standard, the technique, fundamentals, those things don't change, and you've got to grow as the season goes on. We all know how the seasons have been added. You got 2 bye weeks now. Yeah. Now you got the structure of the college football playoff. Everything's changed, conference championship games. So you've got to continue to get better as the season goes on because of the length of it, and you got to stay healthy as a team.
And when you talk about that getting better again, coming off this beautifully timed bye week, but from a momentum standpoint, how does that impact you? But also talk about the momentum of we're facing a quarterback that we've faced this kind of quarterback before this season. It's not like this is our first game with a guy that may take it and run it. Talk about what you've been looking for in your guys post-bye week, but getting dialed in for this game to focus on these details.
Right. No, that's Central Florida had a guy, bigger guy, probably didn't run as well as the guy that we're getting ready to see. But, first thing about defense you always got to do is stop the run. You got to stop the run. You got to make a team one-dimensional, and that's a challenge every week, not just playing who we're playing this week. And, striking blocks, staying square, setting edges, building a run wall, that's got to be like the standard expectations of what everybody does and how they play. And practice habits and behaviors that are taught, it just keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. And you got to get better as the season goes on. And I think that we're doing a really good job under Coach's leadership of doing that.
Coach, Nikhai Hill-Green, you guys spent time together at Michigan. Where he's at right now, what's it been like to watch his progression and just see him become the player he is for this team?
Well, it's great. It's great. Nikhai is an unbelievable person, first off. We got a bunch of good people in that room. Did an awesome job when I was the linebackers coach for 2 years at Michigan, made a lot of plays. He's battled through injuries throughout his career, and he's been able to fight through those to be the person and the man that he is right now. And you see that, he comes downhill. He's a physical guy. He's got long arms. He strikes. He's good at the point of attack. He loves football. He's running to the ball. And he definitely plays to the standard and knows that he's not where he needs to be right now, but he's getting better and better as each week goes on. And I think Coach Hart's done a really good job, Coach Livingston, defense, and has allowed them to play fast.
One of the kind of interesting things about this program is sometimes we just find out news in the most random ways, whether it's through a video from Uncle Neely or whatever. And you joining the staff was kind of one of those things where we're just like, hey, who's this new guy?
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you could give us kind of just a little background on the story of how you ended up here.
Well, so I've known Coach Prime when I was at Colorado State for 4 years. I recruited Shiloh and Shadort. Actually, that's how the relationship began. I would fly to Florida. I would stop in Dallas, Texas, and then from there I would go to California, back to Denver. And that was kind of my route. So I got to know Coach a little bit, and then Robert and me developed a relationship through some mutual people that we knew. And, I had a couple opportunities to go to some other places, and the phone conversations with him and the amount of ball that we would talk and the person that he is, and, knowing the person that Coach is, and being out at Colorado and knowing what these guys are doing here and how they're trying to build this place, it was just very attractive to me. And it was a great opportunity for me. And I'm really, really glad about the decision I made to come here, because I wouldn't trade it for anything else. It's been great. It's been great working with everybody on the staff. And you feel like family here at Colorado. This is like a family vibe, man. It's hard because you go places and they say it, and we have good culture and we have good fans. This place is like a brotherhood, and it's guys pulling in the same direction. The culture's right. The standards are set high. And you guys know, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can handle that. And, Coach Prime has really done an outstanding job setting the standards high and creating that kind of environment and atmosphere of brotherhood and fellowship and putting God first. Those are all the things, the morals and things that I've been raised to do and appreciate about being here at Colorado.
Two quick things. One, thank God you didn't get Shador and Shiloh to Colorado State.
Yeah, no doubt. But you asked, so I had to tell you. My background. We don't have to go all the. I've been a lot of places, but that's they're talented guys. So everybody in the country was on them, and I was part of that tree. And
I was just going to say too. Also, thank God for that relationship that began, because we're happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely,
it's good to be here.
From the formation to staff, you joining. You talked about family. When you're in the building, you would think these guys have been working together 5 or 6 years. Particularly the defense side of the ball, you see Dancy, D-Lou, and Sapp. The chemistry they have. You look at you and Hart, how y'all hit the ground running. And this is Coach Livingston's, first staff, as a coordinator. So I'm right with you on that brotherhood and that chemistry that Coach Prime has set the tone for in the building. And everybody just kind of takes that baton and runs with it. And we're 4-1. Like the results, the results 100%. Don't lie. About this game, from a linebacker position, what are some of those keys that you're looking for out of your guys for us to have a successful game containing their offense? Yeah,
well, these guys, they're coached up, and they've got a lot of different play types. But, I always try to focus when I'm talking to whoever it is I'm coaching about is it's not about them. It's about us. So if, you're in the right position, you're playing with good eye discipline, your assignment, you're playing with good technique, you're running to the ball, and you're executing the play, which we call doing our job. Doing our job is whooping the guy across from you. That's doing your job. It really doesn't matter what they do. So, they're coached up. They're going to have a lot of good plays that they're running and trying to execute. And but at the end of the day, we can't complicate defense. We can't sit here and talk about this scheme, that scheme. At the end of the day, everybody really does the same stuff, but it's who executes it better at a high level each and every week. And that's playing your technique and fundamentals and running the ball and out physical, out tough in the other opponent.
Jake, RK, the world, one of the things I wish people could see is halftime Helow in the locker room.
Yeah.
Because when that guy gets on that dry eraser board, man, and he's breaking down defense to special teams, and you're sitting there just like, this is a damn clinic. Like, you are just in awe of the mechanics and the knowledge. which is one thing, but the ability to teach it is another thing. Like, this guy's teaching acumen is off the charts.
You kind of came up under Saban, right, at Alabama?
Yeah, so I played at Ole Miss from 2006 to 2010, coached a year of high school football, and then broke in college under Nick Saban. So that was 2012. And, you know, I appreciate you saying that, but I've had some, you know, very good teachers along the way. Nick Saban being a big mentor of mine. You know, I texted him the other day with the hurricane going on. You know, we were texting back and forth because he had a place in Boca Grande that he sold that and have a place in Jupiter. But we stay in touch. He's been awesome. Been with him 2 times, and I've been with Kirby. And Mike McDonald, head coach for the Seattle Seahawks. Jesse Minter, he's the defense coordinator for the LA Chargers. So really good coaches, and I've been fortunate to be around them. And you kind of take one thing from this guy and one thing from that guy, and then you put together, you know, what you like and what you don't like. But the one thing about being around all these guys that I've taken as a young coach is you've got to have your style. You've got to have your personality, your passion, your energy. You know, you can't try to go be somebody else. Mm. And, you know, when we're drawing plays up on the board, that's one thing. But your standard of how you do things and the passion that you bring and the energy that you coach with, that's on you. And, you know, as a player on the field, I knew my way of getting on the field was, you know, out, you know, competing the other opponent, you know, and trying to play sound with good technique and fundamentals. And I've taken that, tried to mold that into the things I've learned being a coach.
Well, someone in the chat said you look like you can rip a couch in half. So. Like that literally scrolled by.
Oh, man.
I know you got the lamb chops up there waiting on you, brother.
Yeah, they're good. I'm half Lebanese, so you know the culture of lamb chops, man. Uh-huh. But I appreciate you having me on the show.
Appreciate you coming
the Mississippi
in, man.
roots are always there.
Absolutely. We know Poe is out there watching.
Yeah, Poe.
Shot him the link. So
appreciate it. All right.
Appreciate you,
Coach. Thank you so much.
It was Coach Helow dropping by the DNVR pregame show. We got a bunch of other guests lined up. Man, where in the world can you get this kind of access, this kind of content, other than with RK, Jake, and Neely, man? Like where?
Nowhere else.
I didn't hear.
That was everything it was cracked up to be.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a football guy.
Oh, he's a football guy.
Just about what I was going to say.
I'm telling you, man, you get you a bucket, right? And you put in half Joe Pesci and half Wolverine, and you stir it up, and you get Helow.
That's awesome.
All right, we got our next guest showing up right now, so we'll take a quick break and then get back to the show. Shout out to our friends at Game Time. Completely sold out tomorrow. If you want a ticket in the door, you got to hit up our friends at Game Time. You can hit them up for concerts, events, anything else going on in your city as well. But when you download the app, check out that Game Time Picks feature. You can see every seat available in the stadium, the view from it, where the best deals are, everything you need to know before you purchase your tickets. Make sure you download the Game Time app, create an account.
Okay.
Use promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code BUFFS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time! Let's do one of the legends in the building first.
Okay.
Nikhai already ate, so
okay.
All right.
Good. Westbrook.
Let's also give a shout out to Coors Light.
I'll take a Coors Light right now.
It is a Coors Light Friday, which means if you're out there having a good time, make sure you do it with the beer that is made to chill. That is Coors Light. It's the best. It's the best. I'm ready to chill right after this. There's actually a bar here in this hotel that I watched a legendary Colorado football game at. Our guy T. Wheat had 3 picks. I believe it was against Texas Tech, and I remember it so vividly watching it upstairs in the bar here.
Speaking of you in that bar, when I walked by that bar, they said, hey, you know RK? They said, that guy has celebrated 90% of his birthdays in this building.
That's true. Not 90%, but I did have a few birthdays here in this. In this
You're a legend in this building, man.
You can go back here, huh?
Speaking of legends.
If I'm a legend, they'll bring me some Coors Light.
Yep.
CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Drink responsibly.
You know, we had a Hail Mary a couple weeks ago.
Yes, sir, we did.
And it reminded everybody of another Hail Mary.
Yep.
And on the other end of the other Hail Mary, the Michigan Miracle, Mike Westbrook is with us, man. Come on, chat, y'all. Like, Westbrook is in the building.
I know.
Good to be here.
Man, glad to have you, man. How you been?
You know me.
Yeah.
Love it. Loving life, you know. Loving what you guys are doing right now.
Thank you, man.
Before we
Appreciate it.
dive into some football, let me tell y'all a personal story about this.
Sure,
guy.
go ahead.
He's heard it 100 times. I mess with people. The chat gets on me because I pick on Jake. I pick on people, man. So this guy, he's sitting outside Coach Prime's office. He got some nice Jordans on.
This is week one. You didn't know who I was.
No. No, it's like this is the guy sitting outside Coach Prime's office. Like, I got to mess with him. Got some nice Jordans on. Yep, it was going to the spring game. I said, man, what size are those? And they was like off just a size. So I said, man, you lucky because I'd have got them off of you. Coach Prime is standing there. He said, man, you don't want to do that. I said, well, I can take this guy. He's like, you might, but he's not going to quit. He's going to keep coming. Like, if you get those shoes today, he's not only going to get them back, he's going to act like you still got him every time he sees you. He is not going to quit. I said, all right, man, I'm going to let you keep him. Then I went and Googled him. I already knew the receiver stuff.
Of course.
I didn't know this taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, traveling the world, whooping people on different continents.
Yeah, you better watch
No,
yourself,
man,
man.
this dude is
Coach Prime saved
Yeah, he
you.
saved my life. That's Westbrook.
Neely was just playing. We have a good time.
We do, man. Wes, I got to ask you, as a former player here, drafted from here, being able to come back and see this program under Coach Prime, what does it do for you?
I like the fact that you guys are now starting to understand like what it felt like for us because our fans was kind of spoiled because we just won, and now you guys are kicking some butt, and now the fans are responding like they responded for us back in the day, and it's like night and day, and it's lovely. You know what I'm saying? Last year we did what we did. We had the Prime effect, but now you guys are putting some things together, and we got the best fans in the whole entire country when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Michael, just to go back to the Miracle at Michigan, and then the Baylor Hail Mary, just what was going through your mind in that moment, and did it take you back to, Ann Arbor when that happened?
See, I saw it a little bit different because there's a whole bunch of things that happened in that play. So ours was, we needed to score a touchdown to win the game, and we practiced that play. It wasn't just a throw up and, you go do anybody catch the ball. It was a practice play, rocket left. So mine was tipped, saw it in slow motion, caught the ball. Michigan was quiet. Stark contrast to what happened in Boulder.
Yeah, it wasn't quiet.
So watching that play, I got no Hail Mary vibes. Okay, so this is what happened for me. I saw a quarterback roll out skillfully. I saw a quarterback pinpoint accurately put the ball on the back shoulder of the DB. I was like, when that ball went up and that DB was had his face start facing the sideline, I was like, what a ridiculous throw. Spiraled out, and then what made the play even more crazy for me is the catch that Western made. Like people don't understand how hard of a catch that was to make. It just people take it for granted, but he had to catch it with his forearms because there was a bullet. He was 8 inches, 9 inches, a foot off the ground. Had to dive coming from his bad side, his left side, and had to squeeze his elbows. That ball could have easily just went through his legs. That was not an easy ball to catch. So it was a ridiculous throw and a ridiculous catch, and that play was far, far greater than ours was, but the significance of the play was ours was bigger. Yeah. But that play was far more difficult than ours was. So,
you just talked about Shedeur, obviously Travis on this team. As of right now, you are the highest draft pick in the history of this university.
That's only a couple of months away from from being wiped out.
I'm just curious, looking back and Cordell, probably the most talented quarterback in the history of this university, or close to it, before, in competing with Shedeur for that. When you look at Travis and Shedeur and the combination that they have going, just what do you see in terms of their talent and their abilities?
This is crazy because Shedeur is literally easy the best quarterback this university have ever had. We've by far. I literally want to come to games just to watch Shedeur throw the ball.
Yeah.
But I don't, because I love my squad, I love my team, I love my city here. I love Travis, I love the receiving squad, I love what defense is doing, I love so much about what's going on right now. But those two characters are insanely talented. Because I'm a connoisseur of talent. Yeah. Okay, so to watch Travis, so people don't understand what's going on with Travis. Okay, they don't understand. he's so dangerous because he is a wide receiver that can play cornerback. And you don't understand what that means because unless you play cornerback and you're one of those cornerbacks like Chris Hudson or Deion Sanders or Deion Figures who don't care about being a cornerback, they're just a wide receiver playing cornerback. That's what makes him so dangerous. He sees the ball different. It's basically when the ball goes in the air, it's two wide receivers out there.
Yeah.
One on defense and one on offense. And that's what makes him ridiculously dangerous. And I'm watching it. And I'm like, don't throw the ball to his side if you don't. You know what I'm saying? Don't throw the ball to Deion's side. Don't throw the ball to Deion Figures or Chris. Don't throw the ball to their side because they're not real They're not cornerbacks. They're wide receivers playing disguised as cornerbacks. So
I love it, man. What a breakdown!
I want to just tap into that a little bit deeper as it relates to Shedeur, because it's like I feel like if Colorado had its own Heisman house of just like legend, you know how those commercials. This was the Colorado Legends house. Yeah. Hearing you talk about these guys is incredible. You said you would come to the games just to watch Shedeur play quarterback.
No, just to watch him throw the ball because it's like watching like Leonardo da Vinci putting something together. It's just so beautiful watching him throw the ball. He reminds me of Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson was just like for me, I used to just be enamored watching him like practice and just like dang. Because I'm a connoisseur of talent, like I say. Because I can do, I'm saying I high jump 6'11" when I was in high school. I got all of these impossible things that I did, right? But now when I see other people that I can't do, I'm like, I'm enamored. I'm in awe of stuff. Like watching him throw the ball is just crazy to me.
That's awesome.
I love hearing that from a receiver's perspective.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when we watched Shedeur, the defense forced him to that way, trying to put him in an awkward position. Not knowing, he works on that. And when I'm on the sideline, Mike, and when I saw his hips and shoulder get square, I'm knowing the ball is going straight.
Yeah, you know it.
And my vision was blocked from the Western catch, so I had to look up at the screen to see that part. But the throw, I'm just like you. The angle I had, I was like, oh, man, he got his hips and shoulders around. Like, I know that's going straight where he wants it to go.
He throws nothing but darts. It's insane.
Darts only.
it's insane. I love watching it.
Michael, you were around the team a lot last year too. What are some of the differences you've noticed between last year's team and this year's team at this point?
The hunger. I noticed a different appetite amongst the Wolves. You know what I'm saying? Last year it was, we're at Colorado, and I think they were kind of buying into the stereotype of the hype. You know what I'm saying? Versus this team don't care about the hype. They're buying into eating. These fools is hungry. And it shows. Yeah. And I'm proud of that because we played like that's how we played. That's why we only lost 5 games in 6 years. 5 years or something ridiculous like that. And that's how these guys are starting to play.
This man is spitting right now.
Man, like no diddy, spitting.
Go ahead, Unc.
I was going to ask because you've conceded that your record as being the highest draft pick is going to be over this spring.
100%.
Let's talk about Travis for a second. His ability playing both ways here in college compared to what people are saying, will he be able to do that at the pro level? You haven't been a pro at that level. What do you see in that regard?
I see him some coaches are going to get him and play him full-time at DB, sparingly at receiver, or they're going to play him full-time at receiver, sparingly at – they're not going to, not him play him both ways. They're going to play him both ways 100%. But as far as him playing that much, you can't – I know it's hard to say you can't when you're talking about Travis. Yeah. But that game at that level, that many fast people, you're going to sustain massive amounts of injury. This is good. The injuries are just – the team back in the day, the team that won Super Bowls were the healthiest teams. Yeah, because it's just hard to stay healthy. Yeah, and to put yourself at risk that often, that much, it's just coaches won't. I don't think any coach is going to do that many plays for him on both sides. So he's going to have those ants in his pants and needing to dance, just waiting his turn to get on the field. Yeah, because I don't think he's going to play. Even though I think he's probably capable of it, but I think the risk is just not worth it.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Kansas State tomorrow. Just what do you see in this matchup from this team, and how do you think it's going to go?
I think we need to maybe stop. That the quarterback is going to get his. It's going to be hard to stop, right? But but we just need to keep that to a minimum. We can keep that to a minimum, and keep their run game semi-contained. They're not going to outscore us. So I think they have us +4. something like that.
3.5, yeah.
3.5. I think if we can contain that quarterback, keep his rushing yards to a minimum, I think we win by a touchdown and a half.
I love it. You talked about these fans at Colorado, and earlier this week I pulled up a video of Medford Moore talking about a Kansas State game back in 2002. I'm just curious if there's like a memory of being in Folsom and just the loudness of it that sticks out for you.
Oh no, like I was saying, at Michigan, when we played Michigan, I caught that ball, I jumped up, and my ears was, it was weird because there's 104,000 people, and it was like this room right here.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. And then watching it on TV, I wish I was there, watching it on TV, and it was just like a thunderclap, and just everybody went crazy. And I'm like, I was so jealous. Like, oh, man, why couldn't we have been at home and did that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But, it's an awesome time, and the fans are very responsive fans. And, it was a pleasure playing for them. And I'm, obviously this is the kids' times now.
Yeah, love it. Mike, you're going to be around all weekend to be at the game tomorrow.
Yep.
Hopefully you're going to suit up and get a couple reps out there.
Yeah, me and Chris was talking about that. I got a hitch in me. Yeah. I got a hitch. Maybe I got a slant as long as they're not in cover two, because I'm not like I'm an alligator arm.
Yeah,
Shador's going to get you the ball. Right?
We're going to get it to you.
I know.
Well, man, we appreciate you stopping by, and it's going to be a late night tomorrow, but we do a post game show,
right?
And if you're still in the stadium, man,
of course.
You're more than welcome.
Of course. All right, you know,
Mike Westbrook,
right, bro?
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, man.
Boys.
Appreciate you,
man.
There you go, Colorado football legend, Michael Westbrook.
And guess what we got? We got a current legend coming up.
Yes, we do.
Like, we got a current player coming. I know. Here's what they thought out there, guys. They saw Helow, and they said, oh, man, they ain't got nobody after that. Mm-hmm. They saw Westbrook and said, oh, they ain't got nobody after that. We got somebody after that.
Yes, we do. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll get to our guy, Nikhai Hill-Green. What's up, man?
How y'all doing?
Good, man. Quick shout out to our friends at Sleeper, the best fantasy football app out there. Extremely customizable. Even if your league is on another platform, you've been thinking about changing over to Sleeper, you can do that very easily. Import your league history and all that onto Sleeper. They've also got Sleeper picks if you're in one of the 25 states that it's operational. If you think you have what it takes, download the Sleeper app. Use the promo code BUFFS, BUFFS. You'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Check out Sleeper today.
Also, shout out to Promotico. They are the wonderful people who created our dazzling tour bus that you guys can see tomorrow if you come by the tailgate. Unc, are you coming?
Absolutely.
Unc will be there.
Oh, yeah.
Jake and I will be there.
People have been asking for you, man.
Yeah,
the people are going to get what they want tomorrow.
People were hype when Unc was there last
it's going to be
time.
my job to make them regret that they wanted it.
All right. So
we're
anyway,
go next level.
Shout out to them. And
damn, we wanted it, but we want all of it.
Oh, man.
boy.
Save some.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe we'll have to get Nikhai out on the Promotico bus out in Tucson.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that can happen.
So if you want to get your own sick tour bus, go to promotico.net or call 678-208-3436.
Nikhai Hill-Green, what's up, man?
Thanks for having me, man.
Man, we love having you, man. Like, you're welcome any and every time.
Yes, sir.
Big
I
4-1.
appreciate it.
How was this week, man? Sorry, Jake.
No, you're good.
How was this week?
This week, just work. You know what I mean? Keeping the main thing, and just patching up some things that we left out there against UCF, and just building, focus on Kansas State.
Have you seen the nickname that the fans have given you in Bentley?
No, I haven't.
They're calling you guys the law firm because of Hill-Green and Bentley. Your thoughts?
It might grow on me. Okay. I don't know. I feel like right now, it might grow on me, though.
All right. But we had your coach in, Coach Helow, or one of your previous coaches, now your current coach. Mm-hmm. What's it been like just working with him, working back with him?
It's been awesome, just the terminology of the defense. He knows me well as a player. He was my position coach all my years of college. And, we just have those conversations. He tells me, this is this play from Michigan, play it like this. He can just say a word and tell me, fix it an entire play by just telling me a word. But I like how him and Coach Hart, how they feed off each other and just picking their brains and them just, developing me and helping me become a better player.
I think we talked about this a little bit the last time we had you on, but it's even grown more since then. You obviously didn't get to play as much as you would have wanted to against North Dakota State. Ever since then, you've been on a tear. What was it like that week for you, and what has it been like since being able to get out there and make such a big impact for your teammates?
It never changed. I've been since fall camp. I've been stacking wood, carrying water, trying to get better every day. My teammates been making me better. We got one of the most explosive offenses in college football, and you just compete. Coach Prime, he pushes us. Coach Prime, he's going to get what he needs out of you, and he's going to take you to that next level. So just every day, just listen to him, listen to the rest of the staff, Coach Livingston, Coach Hart, and really just trying to get me and my teammates better every day. It hasn't changed. I prepared the same way, whether it was week 1, week 2, whatever. It's just the next opponent.
When you talked about that first, let me give a shout-out to this young man who had an old soul and talking about chopping wood, stacking wood, and carrying water. That mentality to just do something that benefits the team. Like, don't wait for leadership or don't wait for this opportunity. Put the work in, and I love it. My dad used to tell me that all the time. Like, hey, man, go get some water. I'm like, what do we need water for? Like, it's an expression of do something. Yeah. Like, put some time in, do the damn work. Look, chop wood because we're going to need a fire. Go get water because we're going to need something to drink. I love the mentality.
Yes, sir.
When you talk about when he asked about your relationship with Helow and you and Bentley emerging as those two leaders out there in the middle, have you found that when you talk about words and translation that you're able to now even communicate to the rest of the defense, say, like, guys, this is what this means. I've been through this, that kind of leadership role?
Yeah, at first, guys know your history coming in as a transfer. They know whatever. I was at Michigan. They know my past. But until you put it into action, that's when they really start to respect it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, coming in, just being early, staying late, always doing my job, communicating whatever I can, trying to make the defense better, communicating to the running backs or tight ends. If I beat them on a play, maybe you could have did this a little better. Just leading by example and really getting the guys to know what type of person and player I am and that I'm a team guy. You know what I mean? And I'm just buying in and I'm all in. So they respected me ever since they seen that and till this day.
How does such a nice guy hit so damn hard?
It's me or them.
I love that. Absolutely love that.
Like this dude, not that you got to be rude or some shit like that, but this dude is so mannerable in the building, like goes about his task, and then when it starts, he's like, he just took that dude's head off, man. Yeah. And he was just saying yes, ma'am, to the cafeteria staff. Like when he brings it, man. He brings it every time. I'm just loving what I've seen this season when Bentley and Hill-Green are out there together. I think they've literally made each other better and the defense better.
I think we need to print the shirts. Nikhai Hill-Green, it's me or them.
Yep.
My questions would be about hitting too, so I'm going to follow up on that. What does it feel like to hit someone that hard?
So when you're running full speed and you take the right, it's like a science to it because you got to take the right angle. Mm-hmm. You can't just run aimlessly and reckless, or he's gonna make a miss. Like these guys are shifty. He's gonna make you miss. But if you get the right angle, you run to the ball like Coach Prime preaches. Run to the ball. That's where it all starts. Effort, and you just catch him right in the sweet spot. It's like boom. It's like a punch in boxing. Like I don't know. I can't even put it into words. It's like it's perfect. You just and you gotta. It's the work that you gotta do, building up to the moment that makes it like so good.
Love it.
You guys are getting another hitter back in Shiloh. Just what's it like getting him back and the vibe he brings to the team?
Like you said, another hitter. Shiloh, he's flying to the ball. Like if you watch practice, like he's flying and the game film. Shiloh, he's a big communicator. He's been flying around. And Shiloh's answer, he can't wait to get back on the field. And I can't wait to see him out there flying around. You know what I mean? A heat-seeking missile. And honestly, I'm happy to have him back. I can't wait to play with him.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff. Man, we got meetings and whatnot coming up. We appreciate you, brother, coming by.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome any and every time. Number 41. Y'all going to see him in action tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Somebody's getting the hell knocked out of him.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that. Because they've been working hard this week, been detailed. Do you? Let me ask you one last question, because you mentioned get to the ball. Do you hear that in your sleep, Coach Prime's voice? Get to the ball, like it's 2 a.m. You roll over, get to the ball, get to the ball, because he yells it all practice long.
I do hear DK. I hear DK because Coach DK, he's an old soul. He got those like sayings that will stick with you.
Yeah.
And later on you'll think about the saying like, oh. Yeah, I think I hear DK a lot. I don't hear Coach Prime as much, but off the field I hear some of DK's sayings. They come back to me a little bit.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff.
Love it, man.
Green, appreciate you, man.
Thanks for
Nikhai.
having me.
Take care, brother. Good luck tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right, there's Nikhai Hill-Green.
That is number 41, man. What a dude.
Yeah, man.
I got to tell you guys something.
Go ahead.
Kansas State doesn't stand a damn chance.
Oh, bro. The vibes right now.
The vibe, bro.
Vibes are
This is
vibing.
exactly the way I felt when we were doing the pregame show in Fort Worth, Texas last year.
Yeah?
The exact same vibe, the exact same energy.
I want to give a shout out to the Funky Dope producer, Alyssa. And it's actually a backhanded compliment to me because I was the one who coached her up. That when you're going to open snacks, just open it. No one heard her open
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
Good job.
Because she just opened it.
No hezzy.
No hezzy. It's when you're doing that, oh, I don't want to make any noise, that it makes noise. She got that snack open, and the audience didn't hear it at all.
All right, we got a few more minutes before we have to take this break, and then we'll get to prime players.
They got Hudson.
Telling you, dude, the energy in here is different.
So what was practice like then? Is this how it was all
It
week?
was. I was telling, was it you? Yeah, we were just small talking earlier. I thought that the first half of practice Tuesday was a little lackluster.
But first day back.
First day back, coming off a bye week, understandable. But I think after Coach Prime spoke to the team at practice and again Wednesday morning, Wednesday, Thursday were just unbelievable practices energy-wise. And today out there on Folsom, normally do a walkthrough in the evening when we have a night game coming up. But Coach Prime loved what happened at UCF with the team getting together early and staying sequestered. So he flipped the schedule, said, no, we're going to the hotel at 1 p.m., 1 p.m. today. And so that's going to give us about 36 hours alone to ourselves versus, just coming over later Friday night. It worked in Florida. The guys love doing that. You've seen them around the building. Some just been hanging out, talking. I think the camaraderie, the chemistry from this week's practice, the intensity, the black helmets with the gold face masks are back.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I'm like you, RK. I'm loving what I'm seeing, the vibe. I love the vibe.
King Mars is right. I was trying to figure it out the entire time Nikhai was talking about. Who's
David
Coach
Kelly.
Oh, David Kelly,
okay.
general manager. Yeah. I'm sorry. I should have pointed out then. DK.
Finishing the question, who is Coach DK? David
Yes.
Kelly.
Yeah, David Kelly is the general manager for the team. It's been all over, man. Coached at Florida State, coached at Oregon, and just a guru as far as football and football organization. He's Coach Prime's GM and really puts his fingerprints on practice as far as the tone. He's that guy walking around taking notes, and he's the one reminding people of the due diligence, get to the ball.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of this game before we close out, but that's just one of the things that we got to do. Like we got to have some ball security. We can't give them possessions.
Yes.
That's going to be one of the keys to victory we're going to talk about.
My favorite thing about Coach Kelly, David Kelly, is when you're watching the videos from you, Bucky, Darius, in the big team meeting room where we usually do the show, and Coach is up there preaching, doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
My favorite is talk to him, Coach.
Yep. I love it.
We need like sound drops on this show. Yeah. Like after Michael Westbrook just lays down bars and you just hit the talk to him, Coach.
I don't want to put any pressure on this next guy that's coming up. He's talking in the background, but you have one legend come on in Westbrook, and got another one coming up. Westbrook set the bar kind of high, man, for the legends of CU. We'll see if Chris Hudson can match it or not.
All right, we'll take a quick break as Chris gets on the set here. Shout out to our friends
at Toyota.
Yeah, tell them about it.
Toyota, man, the best. Absolutely love my Toyota. Always have, always will. Cannot wait for my next Toyota, which I think is going to be one of those new 4Runners. Those things are absolutely beautiful. But it got us here today, like it always does. Reliable. You can trust it. It's got all sorts of great features. And to this day, I won't even have to knock on wood because I trust it that much. I've never had an issue with my Toyota. So if you're looking for a new Toyota, head over to your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you, including AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corn Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR.
And shout out to our friends over at UC Health with Coach Prime as the Chief Motivation Officer of their Ready, Set, Coach Challenge. To get Colorado back to its rightful place as the healthiest state in the country, big emphasis on sleep. You've been struggling with sleep, I've heard.
Man, my damn back, man. But AP's got me right. I'm going to sleep good tonight.
There you go.
I've been doing it. Shout out to Neely. Self-shout-out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I've been doing this med-free.
Congrats.
Been doing
Why?
it med-free. Hey, man, I have what's called an addictive personality. So,
Go get yourself some Toradol, bro.
No, man. I'm just gonna sleep on the proper pillow up. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna prop Neely up again.
Oh, shocking.
I'm gonna be magnanimous, and I'm going to yield my seat to Coach Hart so we can have two guests on it at the same time.
Wow, you do deserve
No, I
it.
mean, Coach Hart is my guy. For the first year at Colorado, the couch in his office was my office. Mm-hmm. I've grown and expanded some now. The couch misses me, so I'm gonna drop back in on my couch. But I'm gonna give my seat and headset to Coach Hart. That way we can have Hart and Hudson on at the same time.
All right. I'll finish this real quick, then we'll get to them. If you want to join UCHealth's Ready, Set, Coach Challenge, click the link in the show notes or go to www.uchealth.org/readysetco.
All right, we're getting Coach Hart on here, but I'll start with the question for
What's up, Chris?
Chris
Yeah,
Hudson, man.
Good,
Former
man.
Thorpe Award winner. I was listening to Kansas State's offensive coordinator this week talk about the secondary that Colorado has, and he said all of those guys are almost the same in their technique, in their footwork, and what they do to stay in lockstep with the wide receivers. I'm just curious, from your eyes, like what are these guys doing that are allowing them to be so successful, especially in man coverage?
Man, I got to give a lot of credit to Kevin Mathis. He's a great coach, man. You can tell when I watched the game, when my sophomore year, when Deion Figures, he had won the Thorpe 2 years before me, we was like the number one secondary. And Coach Brown, he's with Oklahoma State, but they remind me of I can tell what kind of coach they are. They're man coverage coaches, and you can tell they like smart players. Very smart players. But I know they work hard. So we might see it on Saturday, but I know they putting the work in during the week, and Kevin them is holding them to the high standards. Of course, Coach Sanders, but I know Kevin working with them day in, day out, and even when you meet the guy, you know that he's a great coach, man. And I talk to him every time I get a chance.
Well, really quick, speaking of Coach Mathis, Coach, we got Coach Hart here now.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yo, what up?
What's up, man? Welcome back.
What's good, man?
I wanted to ask a couple weeks ago, Robert Livingston
Yep.
said that Coach Mathis was the architect of the red zone defense. So what has gone into this team being the number one red zone defense in the country?
Well, just his attention to detail and what he brings as far as his knowledge of playing in the league, his experience there, and being under so many good coaches that he's mentored from, and then just the way he studies and how hard he works. So he presents it in a way that's very easy, for the kids to digest. So, it's like a ton of information because I see him before he presents it. And, it's like a funnel almost. So, you pour into a funnel. It's big at the top, right? Mm-hmm. But he has a great way of taking all that information and funneling it down into that tube to where the kids can digest it. And it's like, okay, I got it. I understand, and this is how I should play it, and this is what I can do. And then through the week, Coach Rob Livingston is always big on, okay, if we got it, you guys should be communicating, calling out the play before it happens. Mm-hmm. And that is a work of art to see it, by day 2 or 3. These guys are actually calling out what's about to happen in the formation based on alignment, sets, where they are on the field, hash marks, all these things have been digested in a way to one that they feel comfortable, and I think that's helped us play, better defense.
Love that. Chris, I'll ask you about the matchup here in a second, but, with the team you're facing and these linebackers and how crucial it is to, keep gap integrity, but also, make plays because of how, the options and all those things develop. What are kind of the keys, and is it easier, that you've done this for a few weeks facing teams, North Dakota State, UCF, who try to do similar things?
Well, it's funny you say that because, the offense is pretty much like North Dakota State and UCF had a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's that kind of offense. You're spot on by that. So seeing it, I think what you really look at now is you go through that tape and you say, okay, where were the explosive plays at? where do they get us? And thinking about that, let's make sure we get those corrections done. And now let's tailor to what does K-State do. Now, they're a game plan offense. So they actually look at tape, and every week, when you put on the tape, you can see they had a different game plan about how they face different defense, with what they gave you with the 4-down fronts and things like that. So you take North Dakota State, you take UCF, you put that together, you first correct all the explosive plays, make sure we're sound on that, and then you work from there on the things that you saw them do with the jet motions and the misdirections. And this quarterback, man, I mean, he's like the UCF quarterback, not as big, but just as explosive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you got 2 running backs back there is what you got. So you really want to get him throwing the ball is what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not a lot of vertical routes. There's a lot of sit-down, quick RPOs, things of that nature. So if you can get them throwing the ball where they can't rely on the run game, they become one-dimensional. Now you get to see if this guy is a real pass quarterback or is he an athlete at quarterback.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with either one. No diss to that. But as a defense, that's what we want to see. If we can make them one-dimensional, can they beat us this way?
Well, and Chris, as a DB, what Coach just said, if you're kind of getting lulled to sleep and, it's a lot of running the ball and action like that at the line of scrimmage, what's it like as a defensive back, just, staying engaged in the game for however many defensive plays it is and not getting lulled to sleep?
Well, in playing a team like Kansas and everybody have to stay disciplined at what they do, and that's when it becomes a team sport. And you can't just think about yourself. You have to think about your teammate. And that's all defense is. Everybody's relying on each, and everybody have to do their job. So on offense, you can have miscues, but on defense, miscue will get you beat. Bottom line, the defense, really win games, and I think these guys, Coach Hart and them, have done a tremendous job. And from last year, you can just see it, playing the game, and you can just see it. And like I said, and Mike said it earlier, coming back, I came to games last year, coming to this game, coming to games this year, you can feel the difference, like the high standards, like from Coach Prime all the way down to Coach Hart and them, everybody's on the same page. And like I said a couple weeks ago, when people start hanging together, when kids start hanging together, really loving each other, it makes it easier because you can look at, like I can look at Coach Hart and know he's going to do his job. So if I know he's going to do his job, what does that mean? I'm going to make sure I'm doing my job because he's set the standards. And just like the kid that came up here early, Green, you can just, those are some good kids, man, that can play. Yep. So these kids, they're not just good kids, but they can play and get after the ball, Yep. Because everybody going to get their chance to some people sit back, even the youngsters, they might sit back and always say, man, listen, just graze over there, watch the older people. But when you see them make plays, everybody's going to the hat, congratulating them. That's how you can tell that the team has really come together.
One of the things that Coach Prime talked about last week or for the UCF game was that the guys, since they spent extra time at the hotel, they ended up watching extra film, and he felt like that helped translate to the field. We talk a lot about guys watching film and film study on this show. I'm just curious, how much was that a part of kind of your success on the field, and how important is it for these guys to be dialed in on that?
Well, we was watching the guys, not just this group of guys, but just kids in general. They rely on more athletic ability. We was athletic, but we watched a lot of film also. But to hear that they're watching film like that, because when you find out, you get to a point, you find out everything is just really mental. Yep. You know what I mean? It's mental. And you know about what's coming, especially if you're watching film. I can watch you guys walk just like y'all with Uncle Neely. You all can come in here and act just like him because y'all around him. So when you're watching film, it's the same thing. You're watching it. You're seeing, linebackers watching their keys, defensive backs watching their keys, linemen watching their keys. And like I said, but when you start doing it for each other, now it's a different story of them coming together.
Coach Hart, for you guys obviously are preaching to these guys to be watching film all the time. But when you have kind of a moment like that against UCF where the guys, go maybe a little deeper into the film study and then they perform like that on the field, Does that make it easier for you to say, see, this is what we've been talking about, this is what we've been trying to tell you guys, and has that translated since?
Yeah, but you got to see it a little different way. Like, those seeds have been planted since day one. You know what I'm saying? So when you plant a seed, you don't see it at first. Everybody's just waiting to see it grow. Everybody's waiting. Everyone's waiting. And then, the roots start coming out and the little leaf pops out and all that. And now you say, oh, dang, there it is. But it's always been there. I think football is one of those things, just like life. As you go through the weeks, you get stronger, you get better. If you have the right mindset to correct the mistakes, pull together and have faith in what you believe in and keep moving forward, you can be successful. And that's all it was. It was a seed that was planted. And 11 guys got in the huddle and said, we going to do what this fertilizer said we should do. Right? Yeah. No matter where you come from, what background, environment, all that, you come together, and then this beautiful tree comes out. And that's what it was. So as the farmer, you knew it was going to happen because you're the farmer. You know how to till it. You know how to work it. You know how to do all that. As the fan or the one who's buying the fruit that comes from the tree, you just waiting for the fruit. And once you see it, you're like, oh, man, it finally happened. It's what but these are steps that coaches take. These are steps that players take. That's why it's hard to do what we do in a sense, because it's discipline, it's regimen, it's correcting what's wrong, being accountable, and then coming together as a team and saying, all right, here we go. And then there you get the fruit, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So that's what it is. It's great to hear the people like, oh, it happened. But, when you backed up working it, man, it's like, no, this was supposed to happen.
Yep.
This is what you want to happen. And the UCF game was just I guess it's a mix of all three phases coming together and playing what we wanted to see, playing the type of ball we wanted to play. And just hats off to those kids, those players. Hats off to everybody else, because this is a tough world now, dog. I'm talking about social media and all this, man.
Oh, yeah.
This is crazy. I'm looking at this thing here with all these little quotes and stuff is funny, man. That's what I'm saying. They got to deal with that every day, you know? Yeah. So I just hats off to them, man, and sticking to the process and seeing the fruits of their labor. Kudos.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of the chat, they're talking about it. Kansas State, that means something to you.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. But again, when you are all right, these guys, Westbrook back there, you have these rivalries, right? And it's great. It's passion. It makes you who you are. But then you go to the next level, right? And you get in the NFL. Now you playing with some of these guys.
Yeah.
And y'all on the same team, right? Mm-hmm. So you may joke in the locker room. It may be some of that. But now you guys are coming together and trying to accomplish something. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's good to see. I like it. It's going to be an experience for me. But, I'm a buff. You know what I'm saying? That's who I'm with. I'm a buff.
Yep.
And it was a great experience there, but I'm a buff now. So when I line up, I'm in the black and gold, and all I'm worried about is how my players are playing and making sure they're successful so they can keep accomplishing their dreams. That's the big thing. I had my turn. That's done with. Is it a little bit experience? Yeah, it is. But it's not going to be more than the buffs.
Yeah.
And what the program needs. That's what it's really about.
Chris Michael came on and talked about, his career and playing in Folsom and stuff. If you could just take us back, what are some of your favorite moments from when you were playing on that field?
Man, believe it or not, man, I enjoyed them. And I worked hard to make sure that I was supposed to do what I was going to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And football, man, I see it like a pot of gumbo. You know what I mean? Different spices. You're gonna have a Travis Hunter, which his spice is gonna set it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Mike, you're gonna have people that's just the salt and the pepper. They doing their part.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the guys gonna set it off. They might need to do a little bit more. That's what Coach Hart and them do. They recruit guys for their system. But being here, man, I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it so much that if I had to do it over again, rewind it, I would do the same thing. So that's how I know. But it was mostly for them, and that's where it came from, mostly for them. I enjoyed my teammates.
Love it, man.
Is there a moment that sticks out to you as maybe the loudest? Because I think tomorrow is going to be one of the loudest games in Folsom history. Definitely the loudest game of the Coach Prime era. Is there one that sticks out to you when you were out on the field? Like, man, it was deafening.
We always, I mean, man, Mike said we lost 5 games in 5 years. I mean, it was always loud,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, because that's what was expected, you know. And Coach Mack, believe it or not, run the same. He ran the team just like Coach Prime. And I told him, y'all remind me so much of each other because you would run through a wall for him, you know. And as a player, I'm pretty sure, Coach, that's what you want is a player that would run through the wall. Just point at the wall, which one, Coach, and would run through the wall for you. That's the effect Coach Prime have.
You got to let us, Coach, go.
Good to see you.
I got to get out of here.
All right, appreciate you.
Great to be with you guys, man.
Thanks,
Always
Coach.
an honor, baby.
Good luck, man.
Always an honor.
All right, we're bringing Neely back into the fold.
Sorry if we made you late, Coach.
Fine.
We didn't have time to ask him about his shirt because they were.
I know.
They were
It's cool
hyping
ass
it up
shirt.
in the
Hey,
chat.
but this the shirt right here, man.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
There you go.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Hey, my birthday was October 6th. My daughter bought it for me. I said, the first chance I get to wear it, I'm going to wear it.
I love that.
You're wearing it on camera for her now,
Oh,
too.
yeah, just for her. Just for her.
I got a confession.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God.
No, it's just look, man. Let me tell y'all. I don't know if y'all saw it back there. You might have, y'all were busy doing the thing, but I was just scared as hell back there. So me and Westbrook were talking about backs, and he was explaining to me how he recently hurt his, and he started shadow boxing. And I had to stand there while he was shadow boxing. I'm like, man, if this something hits me, I'm gonna lay down. Like he was stopping him like right there by my nose, and I was like, are you playing? Are you for real? Like, what we doing, man?
That's awesome. I actually did not see that. Did you?
No. Is he lying?
You see, look, Mike, am I lying? Were you not back there shadow boxing with me standing there? See?
Okay.
And I was like, do I move? But then if I move, he might move too. Like, I peed a little bit.
Oh, Lord.
I just stood there.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's my confession.
Thank you for that. We really appreciate it.
Last one I have for Chris is just, what's it been like for you watching Travis Hunter, especially at corner, and just the special things that he's able to do at that position?
Man, see, Mike explained it wrong earlier. He said he's a receiver that's playing DB.
No,
he's a DB that's playing receiver.
Imagine that.
You see what I'm saying? Just like a receiver. That's what them pretty boys do. You know what I mean? They wear skirts and that's how they act. Wow. You know what I mean?
He can't defend himself.
I know. Good. I'm glad I came with it last. You know, but that's the way I see him. I see him as a DB playing corner. Man, when you see him sell out, chasing plays down, golly, man.
That one against UCF where he's just chasing him down. Yeah.
Right. Man, that's a walk-on move. You understand?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, just being honest with you, that's a walk-on trying to get a scholarship move.
Yep.
And he is so smart. That's what, and I think people don't see that boy. He's talented with the ball. He got great ball skills, but he is so smart because he's able to play DB and understand the system of a receiver. And they have high-low.
Yeah.
He understands it. It's so hard to do that. I'm telling you, as a former DB, it's so hard to do that. I play quarterback, so I can hear the check sometime when I would hear the quarterbacks check. Yeah. I would know the route tree and say, okay, they checking. And I always come out and identify the XYZ. That's just what I did as a safety because I played both. I played corner. So my sophomore year, I made obligate at safety, but then I came back and made it at corner. Then I went back. So I kind of did it at both. But just hearing the checks, you can just tell how smart he is, man. Because some people can't put those two. You see a DB, you're like, okay, a DB, okay, he fast, he playing receiver, he doing. But he's able to even play receiver and to know to lean on the defensive back to give, because he know what he's going through.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he knows that DB's going to lean like this, or I'm going to lean into him, but create a little space right here. Smart, man. It's hard to do that.
Based on all that, I think I know the answer to this question, but I got to ask him because we asked each other.
I was the best. No,
Travis Hunter, the receiver, is being guarded by Travis Hunter, the DB. Who wins the matchup?
Well, of course, because he got ball skills. You would think receiver. You know what I mean? Because of his ball skills. But and that's just if he get off the line.
That's true. Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because I don't know how he would get off the line against himself. I mean, because he's a very, I mean, you can tell because he got long reach.
Yeah.
He uses everything.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Kind of like he's like a perfect DB. And then you look back, you're like, hey, he's a perfect receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like a perfect DB. But you see his hand skills when a receiver coming off the ball, you can see it. But all of them got it. You was right. All of them got it. So Kevin, it's not osmosis. Kevin's going through everything every day, all the time. And he's not accepting nothing more. Have y'all talked to Kevin before?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, he is, I mean, he's laid back, but you can tell he's a hard nose.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
What you were talking about with the processing on the defensive side of the ball, you saw that on the interception against UCF. Where
Yeah, you
he's
can
sitting in
see
that
it.
cover 2 flat, and there's 3 guys going around him, but he reads that.
There you go. He reads it from because he
Yeah.
understands what's going on over there. So just imagine, but then he can go on the other side and do the same thing.
Right.
You're like, golly, man.
And then he's on his podcast this week talking about how he didn't play it as well as he could, and he needed to get hands on the receiver.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It
That's
is.
Coach Mathis getting on him. That's
Yeah.
what that is. That's what that is. But, man, he is. I mean, I'm just happy. Man, I'm so happy to see, of course, Colorado, of course, doing well. I'm so happy for Prime because he's played the game, and to take what he's taken and to have everybody buy in his way. Like I said, it's unorthodox, but it's so smart. But they work so hard, man. I know y'all see him, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know you see him, Uncle Neely. They work so hard, man, day in and day out. You know what I mean? And man, he got Coach Livingston. I talked to him today. He's very smart.
Yeah.
Always, when I come out, I talk to the coaches. But, I mean, he's smart, too, Livingston.
Absolutely.
I mean, he
Absolutely.
is smart, man. We know some of the same – I mean, man, it's like – I'm just happy that it's here.
And I know you got to get up, but I'm happy for y'all. When I say y'all, the players and legends and alums of CU that were here during the heyday, and now that restoration is coming, and you can walk proudly around the country. You can come home and be proud. Like when I see you guys come back, from the first spring game to now, it really encourages us to do more because we know there's people out there pulling for you, counting on you, and proud to be with you.
Yeah, we're going to be with them all the way. I told Prime that first time when I came up in the spring.
Yeah.
We're going to be behind you. Hey, just trust the process. And the process, because everybody knows it's going to be a process.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
There's going to be bumps in the road.
But you like to see it when the bump and it gets smooth a little bit. You like to see that, you enjoy it. Because this fan base is so big, man.
Yep.
Oh man, it's the best. And like I said, I invested so much. My son goes here.
Yeah.
So, but I love what y'all do, man. When I sat up and watched y'all the last time I came, I was like, man, because I was kind of sleepy. I was like, man, that's all right. Because I've never been on a podcast or anything.
That reminds me, I forgot to tell y'all.
Great to
He
meet
called the next day, and we're on the phone. He's like, man, y'all were on to something.
Yeah.
Like he said, before I came on, and then after I got off, I sat there and watched. Like, man, that's a great damn show, man.
Yeah. I really enjoyed, man, when y'all was talking together. I mean, man, I really enjoyed it, man.
Thank you.
I haven't
Thank you,
seen
man.
nobody else's podcast.
You don't need it.
I just see
You've already seen the best.
Thank you, man.
else's.
I just want to say, on behalf of Buff Nation, man, we were lucky to have both of you wear the black and gold. We're lucky to have you join us on the show, and we're lucky to have you still supporting the program, man.
Man, I appreciate it. I will tell y'all a story me and Mike had. We kind of got into it one time. Mike, you want to tell it, Mike? We were so competitive. We can walk to the dorm. We trying to beat each other walking the dorm. And people probably didn't think we liked each other, but we was best friends. You know what I mean? And one time he hit me in the head. He was telling my son, he hit me in the head because he's taller than me. He hit me in the head coming off the ball. And he was like, oh, man, my fault, Chris, my fault. I think the next play, I hit him in the head.
Yeah.
He was like, well, I said I'm sorry. And I looked at him and I say, well, I'm sorry. We didn't never want each other to win nothing. And, of course, he won. I mean, great athlete. Oh, man, the best I ever seen, man. But Travis Hunter's giving him – I don't know if Travis Hunter can flip like he flipped, so I give it to Mike. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you this. I've seen Travis Hunter for no damn reason at all. Wasn't no dare, wasn't no bet. He's standing at the 50-yard line, and he backflipped all the way to the end zone.
Oh, I seen
no
Mike,
reason.
Look, I seen Michael Michael and Deion Figures was having a Philippine contest. This man did like 18 round-offs, touching the ground, right? And then he did an Arabian. Like the what's her name? Simone Biles. He twisted his body. I was like, I cannot believe what I was like, what is that? I didn't even know what Arabian was.
Y'all know why I peed a little bit back there.
Yeah. He did an Arabian.
I thought an Arabian was coming at me.
Yeah,
like,
man, he did an
Arabian,
tall as he is. And I was like, after 18 of those.
Yeah.
I think Deion Figures did like 5 and Mike did like 9. And then Deion might have did 10. And he was like, well, let me shut this down. And he did that. Then he went in, then he got some on a skateboard and started doing the skateboard. Then somebody brought some nunchucks to practice. He just was doing this. I was like, what can you do? I mean, he was doing like Bruce Lee, nunchuck. Yeah. He was just switching them around. I'm like, what didn't you do? And then come to find out, he used to flip off houses. I was like, oh, okay, I understand.
Chris Hudson and Mike Westbrook,
Man,
two CU legends, man.
Yes,
we appreciate
sir.
y'all, brother.
See you, man. Good luck.
Like I said,
Thanks,
tomorrow night we got the game. It's a late game, so the post-game show will be late. If y'all happen to still be around, Folsom, we'd love to have you back.
Oh, anytime, man.
All right, brother.
Thank you. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man.
Don't leave them. They're going to snatch you.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Mike.
You too.
Thanks for making me pee, Mike. I appreciate that.
Oh, man, what a show.
That was fun.
Yeah, like that was Michael Westbrook, man. Chris Hudson. Like Chris Hudson has a trophy in the hallway.
Yep. Crazy.
Unbelievable. And Mike Westbrook was in the number 4 overall pick.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I'm like, the nostalgia is just hitting hard over here as we're in this hotel. And, I was here when I was a kid. And I'm just thinking, like, man, if I could tell that kid who was watching that game that, like, 10 years – well, what would it be?
A little more than 10.
Yeah, 20 years from now, you're going to be, sitting in this place talking to Chris Hudson and Michael Westbrook and one of the stars of the team and the coaches and Buff Nation would be watching along. It's
unbelievable.
Pretty cool.
Only in America.
Cool. Yep.
All right, let's get to prime players then.
Prime player. I just think all of our segments need some kind of musical introduction, like we did with Receipt Street, prime players,
So there's got to be a musician out there.
Yeah, somebody hit us up, man.
Hit
Give
us
us a little jingle to lead into some stuff.
Let us know. Who wants to go first? Offense.
Offense. I got to go back to my group. Go ahead.
It's right on the screen.
Yep.
There it is.
I got Jimmy Horn Jr.
That's a good one.
I think that this is another one that's set up really well for him. And obviously you're going to look back if you're Kansas State at what Jimmy was able to do to North Dakota State and try to neutralize that a little bit. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if you're going to play those coverages, someone's going to be open.
Yep.
And I think that Jimmy Horn's going to have at least one big play. And not to spoil it too much, but we did our in our roundtable of this week.
Yep.
One of the questions was who on the team has the best chance to improve their draft stock for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. And obviously, Travis and Storr kind of already played it in gold. Yeah. I said Jimmy Horn Jr. I think that his explosiveness is something that every NFL team looks at and says, man, we could use that guy. And so for him to keep displaying that he's not just like a gimmick player, which I don't think he ever has been, but to continue to show his ability as a true receiver, along with that speed, I mean, we talked a lot about that. Just a little catchy head over the middle against UCF and just deleted a tackling angle. For him to keep doing stuff like that, I think he has a chance to legitimately boost himself up maybe as high as the second round.
What a succinct, profound breakdown of your pick. I love it.
Thank you.
That was spot on, man.
I appreciate that.
Spot on.
You going to follow that up or you want me to?
Oh, I thought we were going to work our way across. Was I in the middle or you in the middle?
I don't know.
The graphic went away just as he's
I'll pull it up right here. You had Dallin Hayden, though.
Yeah. I can explain. I just know who's next. So I go Hayden because of, we had this bye week, right? And Hayden had come back the week before. I don't think he was like 110%, but I think now that he is. And when I look at what he's facing, this is not like Nebraska's defensive line. This is not like Nebraska's linebackers. I think that this game is a game that we truly can have some success running the ball. And I'm going with Hayden in that choice. I know we still have, backs by committee. Like Micah's going to get some shares, clearly some carries, shares of the ball. So will Isaiah. I'm looking for some rhythm, though. And I think if we can get Dallin Hayden the ball early and he can break one of those 17-yarders, lowering that shoulder.
Yeah.
I think that bodes well for him to get the ball again. I think you look up, and he's got about 80 yards in the tutty in the game, so I'm going Dallin Hayden on offense.
I'm going with Will Shepherd.
Love it.
It's
Never
not
left.
just exactly. It's not just a one-game breakout for him. I think he's going to keep on going. We talked about this secondary and these defensive backs. I think that Colorado's wide receivers are going to have a great day tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Will Shepherd has a very good chance to once again lead the team in receiving yards like he did against UCF. He's got his confidence back. He's never lost his coaches and teammates' confidence, I don't think, but he's got it back himself, and I think that's massive. And we could see him potentially mossing someone else in the end zone again.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jake, so much. I agree with RK so much. That's why I went with the running game. Because I really do believe that their secondary, once again, is like sound like a broken record. I don't think their secondary can match up with our receivers.
Nope.
And I think that this is going to be the week that truly opens up our opportunity for the run game. Because I think we're going to go up, a couple scores, and it's like, okay, let's get Dallin Hayden ball 3 times in a row and let him just,
They
buck
will,
if you buck.
and Kansas State will dare you to run it.
Yeah.
They're going to show you some looks that are going to say, are you willing to run it into this 5-man box?
They love to match space pre-snap and then try and close after. So, yeah.
Yep. I'll go first on defense, man.
Do it.
I don't know how in the world we have reached this place, but we have reached a place where there are some crazy things being said about Shiloh Sanders.
It's wild.
He is going to be a man on a mission out there. I mean, you see what happens if you don't feed a lion for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
See what
Starving.
happens the next time you walk in there with a piece of meat. Shiloh he is starving.
Yeah.
And exactly like what Michael Westbrook was talking about, the difference in this team is the hunger.
Yep.
That man might be the most hungry player on the team. And so he's going to go out there, and I just have a feeling in the first 3 series, there's going to be something that happens where everyone who has been staying with Shiloh gets to say,
Told you so.
remember?
Yep.
Remember who he is? That's Shiloh Sanders, and he is a dog.
I love that pick. He looked good at practice. It was good to see him and Cam back there together again, leading the defense, communicating. Good to see the rotations that were coming in, like a Carter Stoudemire coming in for some packages. Shiloh does not look like out of football shape. He was running to the ball and doing everything but hitting them. And so I think that you're spot on with your analysis as to why he could be that defensive guy. I love it. He looked good at practice all week, man.
I went with Chidozie Nwankwo. We know what they're going to try and do. They're going to try and run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have that interior pressure, and we saw it kind of last week when he came back against UCF, he was a difference maker for this defense. And when he's been on the field and healthy, he has been one of, if not the best player for this defense. I think it's going to continue, and I think he's going to be a game wrecker and is going to give Kansas State a lot of headaches tomorrow on the offensive side of the ball.
Love it. Love it. Going Arden Walker, man, and let me tell you why. Saw some things at practice this
you need
week
to explain
with
yourself.
him. Yes, with him extending the line. Here's what we got. We're facing a quarterback that will run the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
You believe in our linebackers?
Mm-hmm.
I believe in our linebackers. I believe they're going to be disciplined. They're going to be sound. They're not going to bite on the eye candy. They're going to sit there for a second or two, which means the escape route for this quarterback is on the outsides.
Yep.
And when I saw Arden Walker being coached up in each rep after rep after rep, it's like he just took the line of scrimmage just straight down. And where they couldn't advance the ball, the scout team that was mirroring the offense we're going to face just couldn't advance the ball. And if I can skip ahead one, that's also the reason why I went with Chidozie. I see you and I kind of flip, Jake.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Because when Arden was doing his job and the guy had to come back, Chidozie ate.
Yeah.
Like they fed off each other all practice all week long, man.
I have to call shenanigans on one thing.
Yes.
I think Block Bully is too good to be a sleeper.
Yep. I agree.
Oh, absolutely. But I can't pick 2 for defense.
Fair enough. All right.
And I still try to pick another sleeper. I sent y'all a motto with an asterisk down there.
Yeah.
So
That
it's
is
like,
true. That is true.
So it's like Chidozie definitely is not a sleeper. But when I went Arden as my guy, it's like, damn, but it looked like Block Bully going to eat.
Yep.
So I got to put him in.
By the way, Arden Walker against UCF had a 3-play stretch that every coach in the country could use as teach tape for how to defend read option. It was just textbook.
Yeah, Neely kind of broke it down already. Arden is just a monster playing the run. I love what I saw against UCF, and I think it's going to continue. Hoping he gets some sacks, man, because I think once he adds the pass rush, that bag to his game, he's going to be a really, really good player and play football for a while.
And my sleeper was Isaiah Augustov. I just had a feeling all week about him.
He's leading the team in rushing.
Yeah, and those like we talked about, those light boxes.
Yep.
I mean, all these running backs can and should eat against those. But I can just envision this, run where the offensive line opens up a hole. They've got that one linebacker there to fill it. He kind of pops him with the shoulder, runs him over, cuts up field, breaks a big one. Obviously, I've been thinking about that 2002 game a lot. 85-yard run by Chris Brown in that game, potentially my favorite Buff of all time. So I've been thinking about that too. Has that upright running style as well. I just have a great feeling about Isaiah Augustov in this game. And by the way, I was tripping yesterday because I forgot about a dream I had.
Oh, yeah, tell it.
Earlier in this week, and Jake can vouch for me because I texted him, and Ashton Brown can vouch for me because he was in the group too. Yesterday I said, I think 31-27, and I completely forgot that on Monday of this week I had a dream that the score was 41-20. So I'm not going to mess with messages from above.
No, don't do that.
As I might have yesterday. And like I said today, after sitting in this room and being around these people and feeling the vibes and energy in this hotel right now, I feel great about it.
Yeah, I like that number. My expectation is north of 38 points for the Buffs.
Let's go.
Because I think they know now that they've done it. They've seen themselves do it. The nation has seen them do it. The expectation is there. And I heard what Coach Hart said. Your question about watching film, being sequestered, did it make a difference? And I heard his answer, and I understand his answer. I think it made a difference. I think there has been more buy-in, more expectation. Okay, we are this damn good, and now let's live up to the expectation more than one game so we can prove that it's not a fluke. I think this offense is going to go out there and make every intention it can to put up numbers, and I think this defense is surely designed like, oh, yeah, man, you know what? What if we take a game and do the first half like the second half? Let's try not to give up more than 7 points in the first half of a game instead of waiting to the second. Yep. And so if this comes to play, man, you could be looking at, 35-10 as a final score.
Just like UCF. Last year, Chidozie Nwankwo had 1 sack. Came against Kansas State.
Yeah. I believe he's going to eat, man. I believe he's going to eat.
I love it. We got a lot of super chats.
All right, let's get to them and let's get out of here. Great show today.
Don't sound so ready to get out of here. I could do this all night.
I was just saying, great show today.
No, it really is. It's still daylight out there. It's going to be a long day tomorrow, though.
Yep.
It is. But we get to watch a lot of football before we got to go to work.
Football.
That is true. We got a tailgate, and we're back at Folsom.
By the way, run up the tailgate. I cannot wait to see everyone at the tailgate. We'll see you there. We'll be rolling up in the bus.
That's my bus sound.
Wow.
I'm going to work on it.
Yeah, that sounded weird.
No, it's horrible.
All right, Sandra with the super chat says, Unky, you have the best game day videos. Your number one post. More. We need 5 parts for now on. Jake, Alyssa, and RK. You need a promotion ASAP. DNVR will be at 100K because of you. Thank you, Sandra.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate that, Sandra.
Subscribe to DNVR on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Because
we're getting close.
We're very close.
Getting close to Plaque City.
Plaque City. There's another jingle for somebody.
Jordan with the super chat. Got to make my comment stand out, so here's a little something for everything DNVR does for us. Don't spend it all in one place now with hearts. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate you. JP's Revenge. I knew Nikhai was like that before I watched any film. His demeanor in interviews over the offseason told me everything. We completely agree.
The first thing we said after we talked to him the first time, we got one.
We got one, yep. JP again says, Nikhai Hill-Green has to put some pain on Avery Johnson should he decide to run, make him second guess leaving that pocket. That was one of my keys when we talked about the game on Wednesday. You got to hit this guy.
It's me or them.
I love that.
Someone clipped that.
Someone
clipped that.
And for me, it's not just the answer, the pause before the answer.
Yep, yeah. I know.
Yep.
He meant that.
Oh, yeah. I felt it.
Yeah, I did too.
Arvada Luke says, when we win, the ceiling pops all the way off this season, and the Kurz lot better run from Jake. Keep the
I
dogs
like that
hungry.
spelling.
AP and Nation keep sleeping.
Let's go.
I love it.
Thank you, Alvaro Luke. Big Teasy in the house with the super sticker. Pair character doing a classic mic drop. East Coast Kev, our guy. Every week the team that Colorado faces is, in quotes, not that great of a program. The goalpost is moving further and further. Colorado wins 42-14.
Like that.
Appreciate all the love, Kev.
They're going to discover undiscovered land trying to move this goalpost into places.
It's true. The Campos with the super chat. Isaiah, big game incoming. Lots of people still underestimate this team. Will a W after this game clamp the mouse on the haters and change the narrative? Sco Buffs. P.S. Belts and antennas are ready for K-State asses. Great super chat. Love it.
We could run the table and the haters are not going to stop.
No, of course not.
They'll find something.
Always.
Literally, if Colorado won the national championship, they would be saying, yeah, well, he only did it because Shador and Travis are there. He could never do it.
This was the first year for it.
Yeah, we'd be getting worst national champion in how long?
If it weren't for the 12-team playoff.
Kev again says, stopping the run will force Avery Johnson to do what he doesn't like, and that's throwing the football 100%. One of the big keys. Kimmy with the super chat. Travis in NFL full-time. Cornerback, red zone package at wide receiver.
Full-time everything. I know. I will stand on it until it doesn't happen.
Yep.
If it ever doesn't happen.
Osmaldonado asked, when do the Heisman shirts drop? Been waiting. We're all waiting. I think you'll get an email once it ships.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could do something to make them arrive faster.
Yep.
But it's a gold out tomorrow anyway.
That is
so
true.
we wouldn't be able to wear it.
PPMG TV says, what time is the tailgate?
4 o'clock.
Okay.
See you there. We'll be there right around 4, if not right at 4.
Yes, sir.
By the way, Jay has been reaching out to me all week wanting me to say this, and I completely agree with it, so I will. Tomorrow is going to be insane for these fans. It is going to be so loud. But one thing that he noticed in the Baylor game and in the NDSU game that I think we can work on is not getting too stunned when something bad happens, whether that's a 20-yard gain, a first down on 3rd and long, whatever it may be. Like, football is going to have its adversity. Fans, we just cannot let that take our wind and, put our hands on our knees and sit down and take a couple plays off. Like, this has to be relentless.
Yeah.
Relentless from the fans. Like I said all week, Avery Johnson has not been the same quarterback on the road. He can be rattled. His worst game was at BYU. They had that thing jumping. Mm-hmm. That's on us. This is, like I talk about it a lot, rare opportunity when fans can impact the outcome. This atmosphere legitimately has a chance to impact the outcome. Everyone's got to be on their best. Leave your voice there. You'll have it back by Monday.
I absolutely, totally concur with that. Let me give you a Jackson State history lesson. And I call it the antithesis of the Prime effect. Coach Prime is such a motivator and causes people to believe that they overbelieve. And when something doesn't go right, there's an equal but opposite response to it. It's like, man, but he said – it's like, no, he never said we were not going to be, perfect. He never said that this wasn't going to happen. He never said this. And so you run in – and like we ran into it with the Celebration Bowl. That bowl never mattered until Deion Sanders made it matter. Mm-hmm. Because he said, no, our goal is not 12. No, our goal is 13-0. That game, we're going to go to that game and win it. Yep. Everybody bought in. You lose it, and they act like we didn't win 12 in a row before that. And so you have it like in situations, and like I've told you guys before on the show, and y'all have concurred and backed me up, mojo is real. Momentum is real, like vibe is real. And so you can't, as a fan, cheer, and then when something goes wrong, sit on your hands, because that has an impact. The guys feel that on the sideline. And so we got to stay engaged. We got to be that 12th man, if you will. You got to keep believing. There are going to be plays that we do something bonehead. There are going to be plays that we give up something we shouldn't have. But the goal is to win the game. And that takes fan engagement. Mm-hmm. That's why home field matters.
LTFI.
Lock them in.
Yes, sir.
We're locked in.
We do have a special shout-out to do.
Oh,
also. Shout out to Brian Perkins and happy 55th birthday.
Happy birthday, Brian.
55.
Shout out to Lily. She let me know. So happy birthday to you, Brian. Hope the Buffs get a win for you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Let's get a win.
That's how you know you're loved. If they're reaching out to us for the birthday shout outs.
And that was what you call perfect timing.
A few more to go through. Ben with the super chat. Can we coordinate an effort to get more fans to the Buff Walk?
I feel like it's packed.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that because I typically walk in with the players on the Buff Walk doing some content stuff, and because the walk is like 3 or 4 people deep on the ropes, even though there's space for more people, I don't know if the players would know that there was more people. Because you can't see past it.
Right.
Well, and just everyone's packed into, especially that first entrance area. There's so many people in there.
Yeah, so I don't know if you added more people, it would have the result that you're looking for, because you wouldn't know there were more people.
For sure. And then also, if you're one of those added people, like, you're not even going to be able to really see much.
Great point, yeah.
But I recommend going to it.
Yeah. It's cool. It's a cool experience, man.
Yeah, it is cool. And it's, it's as close as you'll get to those guys.
Every video that I've seen of the Buff Walk, it always looks like there's
lit.
a lot of people.
And we always have people at our tailgate who are like, we got to go for the Buff Walk.
They leave early.
Which is why we starting it earlier.
Yep.
And the Buff Walk tomorrow is 6:20 p.m. The team is to arrive at 6:15 up there. I guess that's Colorado, the street up top.
Yep.
And they get off there for the Buff Walk. The Buff Walk is scheduled for 6:20 p.m. tomorrow.
Love it.
Treyology with Super Chat. I had a dream it was a blowout by Colorado. You might have had the same dream as RK. Yep. Spencer with the Super Chat. Can't wait for this game. I've rewatched the UCF game like 10 times already. I'll be up late on the East Coast watching my Buffs. I've been telling people this team is really good. Beat K-State. #ScoBuffs from the 904.
I watched it. I watched the game 3 times fully through. And after it, I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. And Alex like, yeah, I know. You can't watch it again.
Well, you might have another one to watch.
Let's go. I need that.
3-4 times. And then Book of Wild with a $50 Super Chat says Buffs by 10. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, man.
Let's go.
I'll take the 50 and the Buffs by 10. Let's rock with it.
We need 18 more likes to hit 1,000 before the show ends.
Come on, man.
By the way, someone commented earlier, like, you guys got to get George Helow on the show. And then I also just saw someone say, where is Hill-Green? You guys are going to love this show when it ends and you restart it.
Big Teasy once more. Can I get a birthday shout out on the Tuesday show? Of course you can, Big Teasy.
Yes.
Of course you can.
And one now. Happy early birthday.
Yes, happy early birthday. I'll write it down right now for you, Big Teasy.
Let's go. This has been an epic show.
It has been. Did we ever mention we're at the team hotel?
I think it was implied.
Implied, yeah. We're not just at the Interlochen Continental. This is the team hotel, and we're down on the meeting floor, and they're about to start meetings. Let me give RK a shout out and Jake a shout out. When I hit them with the schedule change, like, hey, man, this just happened, blah, 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 they both were like, hell yeah, Coach Prime, good move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Like, you talk about putting the right thing above the show,
Oh, yeah. And look what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you don't bitch about things and you just
figure
right
with
out.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just shot up like almost 100 likes.
Wow. Shout out to you guys, man. And for real, like, you guys, if it weren't for our incredible audience, we wouldn't have the opportunity to do this. Also, if it weren't for Unc, we wouldn't have the opportunity to do stuff like this. So thank you all.
No, not going to let you do that because it's a partnership.
Yes, sir.
I know it's 2 of y'all, but it's 2 entities. So it's not, it's 3 individuals, but it's 2 entities. And the beauty of what we have merged together is when you guys come with the CU history, the CU passion, the CU knowledge, and it merges with the access that Coach Prime has provided me and now has thereby provided us, we get to do shows from the team hotel that nobody does. We get to interview guests and players that nobody else can get. And it wouldn't happen if we were selfish and tried to do things alone.
That's true.
Amen.
We are the podcast version of the CU defense.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to the Teamwork and Brotherhood.
And shout out to Alyssa. And also shout out to our social guy, RC. He drove down the new background banner we have. We still got some work to do on it too, but we got it up.
Everyone thought we were twerking. That's why the show was delayed, but we were actually working. Shout out to RK. He was hands-on with that thing, and it's up.
Pause. Let's end the show right there.
All right, we'll be back post-game show tomorrow. Sometime after the game ends. Let's hope it's not too late, though.
Hell yeah. Go Buffs.
Go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.